All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the final episode of Yoigoshi. Although we actually reached the end of the story last time, but we still got a few more things to do. Among these is the bad ending that we missed earlier now. Thanks to our good old buddy Nagels. Thank you so much, Nagels. We now know that most of this bad end is skippable. However, there's still quite a lot of meat to it. So he told me after the first section, everything between the first section and the part when they arrive at the Sonozaki estate is skippable. So let's see what happens when Arakawa chooses to ask for a blanket. And this is way back in the other path, of course. After thinking it over, I called out to Tawada-san. Shall I get you a blanket? Shall I get you a blanket? I think the volume's actually a bit low. Sorry, because this and Fata Morgana have very different volumes. So I lower it for this and raise it for Fata Morgana and like going back and forth. Okay.
If you're talking to me, I'm fine.
As I stood up and began walking towards the closet, Tawada-san called out for me to stop, then rose to her feet and rushed over. But thanks to all the fatigue she'd endured, her legs gave out beneath her. She quickly grabbed the back of my shirt and somehow managed to regain her footing. Are you all right?
I can actually do that myself. No need to disturb the dead body. I mean, blankets. Fuck.
You don't look all right out at all. Please have a seat. I'll grab a blanket and come back right away.
No, I'm fine. Let sleeping abusive boyfriends lie. Oh, it's just a saying.
Oh, weird saying. Tawada-san spoke up in an unexpectedly forceful tone, then set her hand down on top of my head and on the closet door. She squeezed it tight, telling me to stop.
Tawada-san?
Tawada-san?
I can do it by myself. It's alright. No need to get crazy.
After being told that so directly, I had no choice but to back off. But even so, why was she getting so upset about a mere blanket? Tawada-san's face looked pale as she lightly bowed to me, then slowly opened the closet door. There was a bed cover of some sort on the top shelf of the closet, and several mats and futons neatly arranged on the lower shelf. I immediately grimaced as the stench of mildew, mixed with sweaty body odor, drifted toward me. A closet shouldn't smell that bad, even in a single-person apartment like my own. Where are the blankets? And jeez, did something die in here? Smells like abuse. I knelt down on the floor and looked up at the closet. Tawada-san simply stared into the closet, not touching anything inside. Maybe the blankets are on the other side. Behind the dead body that's probably there.
Oh, what? There's no dead body?
Right, of course. I was just joking.
Oh, yeah, me too. Right.
Tawada-san closed one door, then opened the other. There were 4 cushions and chairs inside, along with sheets, pillowcases, and blankets.
あ、やっぱり
Ah, just as I thought.
毛布ありましたね。
There were blankets here after all.
Right. Thank goodness.
Tawada-san lightly smiled as she tugged on a blanket.
Oh, shit!
Just then a cockroach fell out of the blanket. Whoa! I immediately left back an entire meter. However, Tawada-san stared at the cockroach with a cold look in her eyes, then knelt down in front of the closet and tossed a blanket over her shoulder. Seeing that gesture, I jumped even further back. Are you feeling all right?
何がですか? What is it? I didn't commit murder.
There was a cockroach in that blanket. Is it really okay to just wrap it around yourself without checking it out first? That's a kind of weird way to phrase that. Usually would say it's over and done with. It's done and over with.
別にそれくらいで病気になったり死んだりしませんよ。
It's not like she'll get sick and die from it or anything. I do think that this arc has some good ideas, but like I just think the flaws in the way the characters are treated and the decisions they make, I just don't understand. It's like, and like there are some really, the whole idea of the arc is cool. Like it's a cool idea, but that's, oh my god, Jess, you're right, it can't be helped. It's not like she'll get sick and die from it or anything. Miyuki-chan giggled to herself, then wrapped the carcass in a tissue and tossed it into a nearby trash can.
龍之介さんは虫が嫌いなんですね。
Oh yeah, that's her. You really hate bugs, don't you, Ryunosuke-san? What did you expect? What are you, some kind of cockroach lover?
好きな人はいないだろうけど、相手は死んでるんですよ。
The guy that's insisting to go on take on murderers and Yakuza is scared of cockroaches. Jeez, come on, Arakawa. I would like to, that would be really interesting, OA. Oh yeah, we'll talk about that later. I don't especially like them, but this one was already dead, you know? That doesn't matter! Cockroaches are cockroaches! Whenever you see one cockroach, there are another 100 of them in hiding! Which means that the blanket could be covered in cockroaches, right? It couldn't be that bad.
龍之介さんたら大げさです。
You're exaggerating, Ryunosuke-san. Miyuki-chan glanced over at Tawada-san as she said that. Tawada-san was wrapped in the blanket, not moving a muscle. I couldn't imagine wrapping a blanket from such a smelly closet around myself. I wouldn't want it anywhere near my mouth. I guess she's cold enough to look past that sort of thing.
十和田さん、大丈夫?
Tawada-san, are you alright?
お布団の方があったかいんじゃないかしら。
Wouldn't it be warmer to lay on a futon?
お布団出す?
Should I put one out for you too? Miyuki-chan held her hand out towards the door on the opposite side. Hello, T. Welcome to the stream. However, Tawada-san moved her body between her and the closet to cut her off.
いいんです。これで。I'm fine with just this. 十和田さん
Tawada-san.
これで十分ですから。This is enough for me. No need to go back to the closet. What do you got? Some kind of closet lovers? Come on!
And so she didn't touch the closet door. It felt like Tawada-san was trying to convey a message through that gesture. In the end, Miyuki-chan let out a sign and sat down next to me. Oh, should be a sigh. Another typo here. The rain was still coming down outside the window. The assembly hall fell silent. The only sounds I heard came from the falling rain, striking the trees and the muddy ground. I took a glance at my watch. It was already around 1 a.m. Otobe was sitting on the floor with his arms around his knees, then suddenly raised his head.
どうした?
What's the matter?
音が
I heard a sound. Sounded like there might be a dead body in the closet. Oh, God damn it, Otobe! There's no dead body! I listened outside the window, but all I heard was the sound of falling rain.
何も聞こえねえぜ。
I don't hear anything.
僕の気のせいかな。
Maybe it's just my imagination?
いいえ。
No. But Miyuki-chan, who was listening outside the window just like me, responded in a low, sharp voice.
確かに何か聞こえる。
I'm certain he heard something.
それに数は一つじゃない。
And it was more than one sound.
聞こえるって
Did you hear something?
足音です。
Footsteps.
足音って誰の
Footsteps? Whose? Miyuki-chan didn't respond, and instead continued focusing her senses. If someone is out there, maybe it's just Sonozaki-san returning here. But Miyuki-chan did say more than one just now. But if that's the case, what then?
窓開けるぞ。
I'll open the window.
待って龍之介さん。
Wait, Ryunosuke-san! I sit up vigorously open the window before Miyuki-chan's cries to stop could reach my ears. The sound of the falling rain grew even louder. Indeed, I could hear the sound of footsteps mixed together with the splashing rain. But the footsteps sounded rough. Sonozaki-san was wearing sandals, so these couldn't possibly be hers.
誰だ
Who is it? I leaned out the window and surveyed the surrounding area. However, nobody was there. Otobe anxiously looked up at me.
荒川さん
Arakawa-san.
消えた
They disappeared.
消えたって
Disappeared?
誰も見えねえんだよ
I can't see anyone.
確かに足音がしてたのに
Even though I'm certain I heard those footsteps. Who did those footsteps belong to? Was it the work of demons who set their sights on us? Well, I mean, they could have a tattoo of a demon on their back.
龍之介さん、窓を閉めてください。
Is that close enough for you? Ryunosuke-san, please close the window. Right. Though I was confused by Miyuki-chan's calm demeanor, I closed the window as directed.
念のため鍵も。
We should lock it just in case.
わかった
Got it.
あと玄関の鍵も閉めた方がいいよな
Oh, should we lock the front door too?
ええ、お願いします。
Yes, please do. I quickly walked towards the entrance. Come to think of it, I should probably run. But I was thoroughly spooked by those footsteps. Who on earth would come here? Who did those footsteps belong to? I ran down the hallway, but as soon as I tried to lock the front door, the door opened. Ah, it's Mion! That guy saw a ghost! What?
おや、荒川。
Oh, it's Arakawa. The person standing before me was none other than Sonozaki-san, looking thoroughly soaked.
ただいま。
I'm back.
お帰りなさい。
Welcome back. I responded instinctively, then stepped out of her way. Sonozaki-san took off her muddy sandals, then started walking towards the assembly hall. I rushed to lock the door and chase after Sonozaki-san, or at least I intended to, but unfortunately the lock on the door was broken and wouldn't close.
たく、こんな状態で開けっぱなしかよ。
No way! We can't leave it open like this! I took out my anger on the door, then hurried back to the tatami-lined room.
いやー、ずいぶん手間取っちまったよ。
That was a lot of work. Sonozaki-san wiped her wet clothes with a towel while closing her sword bag, then popped down on the floor and spread out a scroll she pulled out of her pocket.
それは
What's that?
見ての通りの巻物さ。
It's a scroll, obviously.
そりゃ見ればわかりますけど。
I mean, I could tell that much.
こいつを取りに西宮殿へ行ってたのさ。
I went to the ritual storehouse for this.
誰かさんの悲鳴を聞いて、中途半端に出てきちまったからね。
But I came back early when I heard someone scream. Apparently this scroll was what Sonozaki-san was searching the ritual storehouse for. So she wasn't demoned away? She wasn't Onikakushi? Well, of course not, Arakawa. In the future, Onikakushi doesn't happen. Only Onikakushi. I felt relieved, but also disappointed. It was a conflicting feeling. Sonozaki-san wasn't necessarily going to be demoned away. However, it did seem probable. A person wandering alone was far more likely to be demoned away. No doubt about that.
なんだい荒川。
What's wrong, Arakawa?
人の顔をじろじろ見て。
You're staring at me.
いや、別に。
No, it's nothing. I was too frightened of her to say anything. Still, I could see the amazing force behind Sonozaki-san's eyes.
なーにおどおどしてるんだよ。
What is it? You're acting awfully timid.
今からあんたのこと乙部2号って呼ぶよ。
Wait, what? What is this a reference to? Should I start calling you Otobe too from now on? This has got to be a reference to something.
なんで俺が乙部に
Like Otobe 2 or like... Oh, I get it. Never mind. I'm being an idiot. Like... No. She's just saying he's like just being timid like Otobe. Okay. I get it. Jeez. Why are you comparing me to Otobe?
すみません。
Sorry. For some reason, Otobe apologized and hung his head. Sonozaki-san smiled wryly toward Otobe, then quickly made eye contact with Miyuki-chan, before looking at Tawada-san with a frown on her face.
ちょいとあんた。
I need a moment of your time.
はい。
Yes?
あんた、
そんな臭い毛布よくかぶってられるね。
That's an awfully smelly blanket you're wearing.
I like the smell.
Tawada-san's complexion looked significantly better than earlier, and it seemed like she stopped shivering.
十和田さん、さっきまではすごく具合が悪くて震えていたんです。
Tawada-san was feeling rather sick earlier. She was trembling.
ふーん。
Sonozaki-san carefully looked over Tawada-san's entire body after listening to Miyuki-chan's explanation. Then she beckoned her to move away from the closet and closer to us.
あんた、一人でそんなとこいないでこっちにおいでよ。
You shouldn't be over there by yourself. Come over here.
そこは隙間風があって寒いだろ。
Isn't it drafty and cold over there?
いえ、私はここでいいんです。No, I'm fine staying right here. So, just making sure that, closet freaks don't just keep going by the closet. ここで。Right here.
その臭い毛布のことは気にしないからさ。
I don't give a damn about your smelly blanket.
こっち来なよ。
Come over here.
大丈夫です。It's alright. だから、ここでいいです。I'd rather stay right here.
Tawada-san was huddled in front of the closet, 2 or 3 meters away from the circle the rest of us were sitting in. Tawada-san was sitting with her arms around her knees. She squeezed the blanket on her chest and frowned at us.
まだ具合が悪いのかい？
Are you still feeling sick? Sonozaki-san rolled the scroll along the ground, and it spread completely open as it went. That moment, Tawada-san suddenly looked like she was bracing herself. What on earth? What is this girl so worried about? And Sonozaki-san clearly didn't miss that change in her expression.
あんた、そこに何を隠してるんだい？
You. Just what exactly are you hiding over there?
そこ、ちょいとどいてみな。
Is there some reason you won't step away from there?
いえ。No, whatever gave you that idea? ここは別に何も。There's nothing special over here. Now just go look at your freaking treasure map, get your goddamn bell, and leave me the hell alone. Or else I'll just serve you some tea.
Oh my god, you're right. Could she be any more suspicious? Seriously. No, she's terrible at this, but like in the tea ending, Arakawa and freaking Miyuki just drank her freaking drug tea to fall asleep. Jeez.
いいから、どいてみな。
Then get out of the way. A look of panic flashed through Tawada-san's eyes as she clung to the blanket at her chest. And though Sonozaki-san was glaring at her, Tawada-san held the blanket up to her face to avoid her gaze. After seeing that reaction, Sonozaki-san seemed to reach some understanding and simply shrugged her shoulders.
そうかい。
I see.
そういうことかい。
That's how it is then. What do you mean that's how it is? I was about to ask Sonozaki-san about it, but she quickly put her hand on the closet door and slid it open. Whoosh! The closet door came open, revealing a mountain of futons. Tawada-san had her back resting against the door, so the force of the opening door knocked her down to the floor.
おいおい園崎さんあんた一体
Come on, Sonozaki-san, what the hell? Sonozaki-san stared at the neatly arranged pile of futons, cautiously studying them, much like I did earlier. Then she ran her hand under the bed cover and between the layers of futons.
園崎さん
Sonozaki-san,
何してるんですか
what are you doing?
私の予想が正しければ
If my suspicions are correct,
ここに十和田が隠しているものがあるはずなんだ
we should be able to find what Tawada-san is hiding in here. Her hand stopped moving between the futons. Maybe she found what she was searching for. And then, as Tawada-san turned back, Sonozaki-san had a huge grin on her face.
園崎さん
Sonozaki-san?
何もないですよ。
It's nothing.
どうしたんですか？
What's wrong?
あんたたち驚くんじゃないよ
Everyone, don't be too surprised.
驚くなって言われても見てみなきゃわかんないですよ
Even you tell us not to be surprised. We won't know until we see it.
今度はどんなゴキブリの山かな
Is it gonna be a mountain of cockroaches this time? It was a strange thing to say, but I didn't mean it as a joke. What on earth is hiding in there? Sonozaki-san grabbed the bed cover with both hands and pulled it vigorously. Ah! Whoa! And what came from inside was a human hand, the hand of a young man.
これは一体
What is this? I have no idea what's going on.
Tawada-san trembled in shock with both hands held against her mouth before finally saying that in a shaky voice. It was as if she recognized the owner of that hand. Are these the tips that we've seen before? I'm just checking. Yep, we've seen these tips before. Yep, we've seen them before. Yep.
マチちゃん
Yep, we've seen these tips before. Really? I can skip? Okay, so... Nagels, is this literally going to be the exact same chapter? Nagels, I just want to know, is this literally going to be the exact same chapter as was in the main story of both Otobe and Tawada's story?
誰だかわかんないよね
I'm just curious. Really? Not exactly the same? So then is it okay to skip? Like, what's going on? I can skip up to the end of Tawada's flashback. Okay. Okay.
そいつはとあれ 龍之介さんの
ああどうせつながみんな
Okay.
20最初にみゆきちゃん
いおき
Okay, so I can skip to the end of Tawada's flashback.
なん
確か
たく鳥
Oh, the
殺して
voice.
しまう
There we go.
好きだったん
知り合ったのは
実は俺さだから決めたんだ
Yeah, this. Okay. We've seen this. Yep. It's the exact same flashback.
たく
Okay.
あんたたちはここにちょっとか
みゆきちゃん
God damn, I think it went too fast. Oh, crap. Jeez. Oh my god, okay, so something interrupted her story here. Okay. After she said Takumi-kun started to change. Okay. Okay. So I'll just read this part that we missed. Sonozaki-san's complexion quickly changed as she rose to her feet. She grabbed the sword resting by her side and stood there without making a sound.
園崎さん
Sonozaki-san?
静かに
Quiet. Sonozaki-san held her breath and listened carefully. Someone is there, just outside the assembly hall. That was the sound of another person moving around, I'm certain of it. Miyuki-chan's face turned pale as she suddenly reached into her knapsack. Tawada-san held her mouth shut, while Otobe and I all focused all the strength in our bodies on listening to the sounds coming from outside.
なんだよ一体
What the hell is this?
一体誰が
Who on earth could it be? Shh. Sonozaki-san turned back towards Otobe, who was trembling and shouting, and held a finger to her mouth.
あんたたちはここにいな
You guys need to get out of here.
ってあんた
What about you?
ちょっと片付けてくるよ
I have to do a little cleaning up. After that proclamation, Sonozaki-san unsheathed her sword and walked towards the entrance.
ちょっと園崎さん
Wait! Sonozaki-san! What? I started to chase after her, but something immediately startled me. I heard the sound of someone fiddling with a gun. The thing Miyuki-chan pulled out of her knapsack was a black handgun.
みゆきちゃん
Miyuki-chan! I was so shocked my voice was quavering. We were all listening to Tawada-san's story up until a moment ago, but the situation blew up in an instant.
園崎さん私も行きます
Sonozaki-san, I'll go too.
いいだろうおいで
Very well. Come on.
あんたたちは一体
What the hell are you guys? I was so shocked I couldn't string together a sentence. Sonozaki-san's katana was alarming enough, but Miyuki-chan, why did she have a gun?
龍之介さんたちはここにいてください
Ryunosuke-san, please stay here.
そういうわけにはいかないだろう
You know we can't do that! I rushed after Miyuki-chan.
僕も一緒に行きます
Me too. I'll go with you. Otobe also scrambled to his feet, but it seemed pretty clear that he was following after us out of fear. I don't have the courage to enter a battlefield where people are armed with katanas and guns any more than he does. But I'm even more afraid of staying here. I see. So the difference between this and the true ending is that he didn't get to hear Otobe's story at all. Like, he didn't get to hear the main part of Tawada's story. Like, seriously. But I've been more afraid of staying here. Oh. Just as I was about to leave the room, I looked back to see Tawada-san still sitting idly on the floor, gazing into Kurosawa's face.
十和田さん
Tawada-san.
私はここにいます
I'll stay here.
ここにいたら命を落とすかもしれないよ
Staying here may cost your life.
Understood.
Sonozaki-san stared at Tawada-san for a moment, then let out a sigh before walking out. How could she kill the man she loved? She spoke calmly as she recounted her story, but the pain and sorrow was still there. However, I still haven't heard a reason for killing him. Will we survive long enough to hear the rest? Not in this timeline. I lamented leaving Tawada-san behind while I made my way out of the area. The rain was still coming down. I couldn't see anything outside. The surrounding area was completely swallowed by the darkness.
目が慣れるまでじっとしてな。
Oh, this is a really cool effect here. They didn't use this effect at all in the main story. I love this effect to show that they're in the dark. Stay still until your eyes adjust.
音を立てるんじゃないよ。
And don't make a sound. Hello, Void Dweller. Welcome to the stream. After she said that, I held my breath and took a look around. I can't see anything. Why is the air so tense? Miyuki-chan stood beside me with a gun in hand, focusing her ears on the darkness around us. Suddenly, I heard Otobe's footsteps.
すみません。
What? Sorry.
いいから黙ってな。
It's fine. Just be quiet. The next moment, I heard the voices of a few men and could see several flashlights waving all around us.
いるぞ。
They're here!
どこだ。
Whoa!
伏せて。
Get down! We ducked down to avoid the flashlights. However, the voices were gradually growing closer and more numerous. Sonozaki-san tightly clenched the handle of her sword.
まずいね。
No good.
一気に片付けるしかなさそうだ。
Looks like I'll have to clean up everything at once.
すみません。
I'm sorry.
なーに。かえって手間が省けるさ。
What? This'll save us time and effort.
それより乙部。あんたにお願いしてもいいかい？
Actually, Otobe, can I ask you a favor? Maybe it's something to make up for his mistake earlier? Sonozaki-san held a hand to her mouth and whispered something to Otobe.
いいかい？
Got it?
はい。
Yes!
そこのスイッチをつけると境内の電灯がつく。
That switch over there turns on all the lights in the shrine grounds.
合図をしたらスイッチを入れて全力で走るんだ。
On my signal, flip that switch and run with all your strength.
走るってどこへ。
Run! Which way?
そっちの藪でもどこでもいいよ。
To the thicket over there. Or anywhere, really.
奴らはこっちに撃ってくるはずだ。
These people are coming here to shoot us all.
みんなでチリチリになって逃げるんだよ。
Everyone, just scatter and run away. Otobe swallowed a spit, then looked over at me. I nodded as hard as I could. I truly might lose my life right here. Well, that's okay, Oe. You could just tell me how many there are after the stream tonight, and we'll take that as the starting number. I truly might lose my life right here. Despite that premonition, I felt strangely calm. Maybe this is actually a dream. Sonozaki-san's sword and Miyuki-chan's gun felt so out of place, they seemed more like toys. Besides, why would Miyuki-chan even have a gun in the first place?
今だ。
Now! Damn, that sound effect from the main story. I remember that sound effect. Otobe pressed the switch on the side of the entrance. There were a lot of switches by the entrance, and Otobe wasn't sure which ones to press, so we started flipping them at random. Electric lights scattered throughout the shrine grounds started lighting up one by one. Bang, bang, bang. Sounds like exploding firecrackers echoed from all sides. So this isn't a dream after all. How many enemies are out there? Ah!
早く逃げるんだよ
Hurry! Run away! Oh my god. As Sonozaki-san shouted that, Otobe and I bolted out of the assembly hall. To the right? To the left? Which way should we go?
龍之介さんこっち
Minosuke-san, this way!
まっすぐ走って
Run straight ahead! I turned the direction of Miyuki-chan's voice and ran straight through the rain. I heard an enemy bullet strike the ground nearby as I ran past the telephone pole. Ah! It's this badass song again.
龍之介さん
Ryunosuke-san! And we even get the CG. Miyuki-chan pointed her handgun toward the darkness and fired several shots. The gun smoke wafted to the tip of my nose. Whoa!
危ないどいて
Out of the way, it's dangerous!
左2人1 2 3
Two more to the left. 1, 2, 3! A few more shots rang out. Bang, bang. Throughout the smoke and rain, I could see a man in a black suit. A bright red spurt of blood emerged from the tip of his shoulder, and then he collapsed from Miyuki-chan's bullet. Miyuki-chan skillfully swapped in a new magazine. Damn, she's getting to do more in this one. A man in black used that brief gap to point his gun in this direction. Oh no. Someone came at Miyuki-chan and me from the side and pulled us down to the ground. A bullet fired by the man in black struck the patch of mud where I was standing just a moment ago.
気をつけな
I love this sprite so much. Be careful.
どうも
Thanks. We dodged that attack by the skin of our teeth. Sonozaki-san was the one who tackled us. Sonozaki-san charged towards the men in black with her katana in hand. 5 or 6 men had already fallen through the shrine grounds, so the number still standing was probably around 3 or 4.
仲間は随分倒れたようだね
Most of your comrades have already fallen.
命が惜しくないやつだけかかっておいで
If the rest of you don't value your lives, come on out!
こいつ死ね
Damn it! Die! A man in black pointed his gun towards Sonozaki-san and pulled the trigger. I heard the sound of the gun firing empty. Sonozaki-san had a huge grin on her face as she slashed the man in back with her katana. Oh, damn! Hiya! Sonozaki-san's sword sliced through the pit of his stomach. The man's body folded over as he fell to his knees. Badass! Cold rain and smoke bore down on the few men in black still standing.
クソ
Damn you!
こっちだよ
Over here! Oh, that was Miyuki, god damn it. Over here! Another man in black turned his muzzle towards Sonozaki-san, but Miyuki-chan fired without hesitation. The next moment, right before our eyes, the handgun flew from the man's hand and danced in the air. Damn, why didn't we get a scene like this? The true ending! This is an awesome scene! The two of them quickly looked at one another and lightly smiled. Oh, god damn, this is badass. It was like watching an action movie, I'll say. Sonozaki-san and Miyuki-chan were fighting spectacularly, right before my eyes. Even though they were fighting for their lives, every move they made was beautiful. Soon enough, the men in black recognized the gap in their capabilities, and they all fled at once. Sonozaki-san flicked her thoroughly soaked sword, then wiped the blade clean with a tissue. Miyuki-chan once again reloaded her still-smoking gun as she slowly walked towards me. I had no choice but to watch them, dumbfounded.
あんたたち一体何者なんだ
Just who the hell are you guys?
ミオンさん、反町さん。
Mion-san. Suramachi-san. Otobe's voice was trembling. The same most likely true for me. Sonozaki-san took a quick glance toward Miyuki-chan, but she quickly moved on and smiled towards Otobe.
ひとまず大丈夫。
We're all right, for now. That didn't answer any of my questions. Who are those people that attacked us? And who is Miyuki-chan really? Find out in the true ending! However, I could tell the current atmosphere wasn't right for seeking answers, but I didn't have any opportunities to ask before this.
とにかく集会場へ戻ろうぜ。
For now, let's head back to the assembly hall.
境内の明かりは消しときな。
Let's turn off the lights around the shrine grounds.
はい。
Understood! I immediately acknowledged her request, like some Yakuza henchman. I don't think I've responded like that since elementary school. As soon as we returned to the assembly room, we discovered a cup of tea spilled by our feet. Ah!
どうださ
Tawada-san! And right next to Kurosawa's corpse, we found Tawada-san laying on the ground. Oh wow, is this a new tip? This is a new tip, isn't it? Oh my god. Yeah, this bad ending has its own exclusive tip, I think. Oh my god, okay. Wow, we have context for this. This is from her boyfriend's perspective. I don't know how many times I've regretted my actions since then. It always came back to me. Anytime my circumstances felt hopeless, I would fall into an intense self-loathing, intent on destroying myself, and it happened again. Let this be the last time. From now on, I'll repent and straighten things out. I said that over and over, so many times that I was disgusted. In the end, I'll keep saying this nonsense. The blood always rushes to my head, and I'll do it anyway. What a piece of shit. When we started dating, I was supposed to pull her closer. I was a little indecisive and shy, but her gentle smile was so cute. I swore to myself that I'd make her the happiest person in the world with my own two hands. Before I knew it, the overflowing talent I thought I was blessed with slowly dried up. When I noticed how much my rusty arms squeaked as I moved them, I understood. I lacked the strength to do it. And I even lacked the capability to do it. But despite all that, she was always smiling and watching over me. No matter how useless I became, she always surrounded me in the same tenderness. No, that's a lie. The truth is she should have realized it right away. Even if we're together, that's not enough to make her happy. And I don't have the power to make it reality. So in that case, what should I do? Apologize to her? Abandon my aspirations up until this point and let her down? If I asked her that, would she want to stay with me? I can't do that. There's no way I could. If the truth of my situation were exposed, there's no way she could continue to love me. She fell in love with me because I was talented and brimming with confidence. So how could she ever be attracted to a weak, talentless man like me? Now that both of those things are gone, wouldn't it be impossible for the feelings in her heart to go on? I was afraid. I was afraid of her looking down on me, giving up on me and abandoning me. That's why. In order to make things a little easier for her, I kept clenching my teeth, continued doing my best to finally make this a reality, and never let her see that I couldn't do it. If I show her that, maybe she'll be delighted. At the very least, I won't be lazing about like I am right now, so that should make life a little easier. That way the weight on her back can get a little lighter, and maybe she'll be able to smile again. But what about me? Is it possible for her to continue loving me? After all, I've always just demonstrated myself as a completely mediocre guy. I'd say a few rungs below that. Can we really keep the relationship going like before? The beer tasted awful. But feeling drunk might help me take that step anyway. Even if I keep drinking like I have been these days, I still can't let her see me like this and endure her judgment. I can't bring myself to make that decision. Why didn't we get this tip in the main story? Damn, I'm wondering, why didn't we get this tip in the main story? And now Tawada died. Okay, so... Or at least she's asleep or something. I don't know. You think I can go to the end normally? Oh wait, could you check on Lambda Delta? Do you know exactly how much is left in how much is left in this one? Because it seems to be a lot longer than I would have thought. Otobe gasped as soon as he realized. A thin red line of blood was dripping down from Tawada-san's mouth, making it painfully clear that she was already gone. It can't be! Miyuki-chan ran closer and held her ear up to Tawada-san's mouth. Then she frowned slightly while putting a hand on Tawada-san's neck and looking at her wristwatch, only to dishearteningly shake her head. No good. We're too late.
ダメって
No good.
これは一体
What the hell? Don't touch anything! I reached out to pick up the fallen teacup, but Miyuki-chan shouted at me to stop. Then she pulled a pouch out of her knapsack and opened the zipper. As I stood there confused, she took out some sort of paper and soaked it in the tea. Then, right before our eyes, the paper in her hand began changing color. Somehow I recognized the reaction of the paper illustrated what sort of chemicals were involved, but I couldn't imagine what chemicals it might indicate. Why did she have something like that in the first place? I thought so. But it's hard to believe she was carrying something like this around with her. Miyuki-chan said that with a bitter expression, then sat the teacup down. Yare. Good grief. There are more corpses in here. Don't think that this is your fault. This is what that girl chose to do. Sonozaki-san glanced at Tawada-san's corpse for a moment, then walked past us and started washing her blood and mud-caked hands in the kitchen. Then Miyuki-chan pulled out a camera with a disheartened expression on her face and started photographing the state of the body. She didn't waste a moment. Her craftsmanship was as precise as an experienced police investigator. But it's more than that. Wait!
何がどうなってんのか俺にも分かるように説明してくれよ
Please explain what's going on. I won't understand.
残念ですが、ここから救急に連絡できない以上、応急措置も無意味です。
Unfortunately, we have no way of contacting emergency responders. So any attempt at first aid would be pointless.
この湯飲みから毒物を検出しました。
I was able to detect trace of poison in this teacup.
しかもこの反応は即効性の劇薬。もう助からない。
And what's worse, this is a powerful, fast-acting drug, so it's already too late to help her.
それじゃ十和田さんは自殺
Does that mean Tawada-san committed suicide?
私たちが黒服の男たちを追い払いに行った時、彼女は一人残った。
When we went out to fight those men dressed in black, she alone stayed here.
彼女、失敗したら自分も死ぬつもりだったのかもしれないですね。
She probably intended to die if her plan fell apart. I'm just going to check something very briefly. Okay, so we have like I just checked away, so we just have like, yeah, about 25 minutes left in no voice time in this. So yeah, that's fine. It'll work out really well, actually. Yeah, it should be the normal stream length to finish this bad ending, because we were able to skip that big chunk of time when it just retold her flashback. When we went out to fight those men dressed in black, she alone stayed here. She probably intended to die if her plan fell apart.
この村へ彼と一緒に来るって決めた時から。
Or maybe this was her plan from the moment she chose to come to this village with him. I didn't know what to say. We were all in serious danger until just a moment ago. We were on the brink of death. But it wasn't like that for Tawada-san. She personally chose to die. If I was able to hear Tawada-san's story to the end, maybe I could have changed her mind. No, you would have fucking yelled at her. Maybe I could have done something. My god, I like this Arakawa much better than the Arakawa what he did before. Jeez. Or maybe everything was already beyond my ability to help, dictated by some immutable fate. Could it be that she felt some responsibility that led her to carry out murder? If she did, I hadn't heard any of it. What led Tawada-san to murder? There must have been some deep-seated motivation for it. But she never gave us an opportunity to hear it, before dying herself. I knew the fact that she killed someone and the consequences of it. But was that really everything? Was taking her own life the only way to atone for it? Is human life really such a mechanical concept? Coarse feelings swirled around inside my chest, far beyond simple words like regret or sorrow.
自殺ですか。
Suicide? Huh? Otobe muttered that to himself. Tawada-san and Kurosawa looked like they were sleeping huddled together. It looked like a beautiful double suicide, a fitting end for an impossible love. But is there really beauty in something like that? A beautiful suicide? There's no such thing.
あんたたち、いつまでぼんやりしてんだい。
How long are you all going to aimlessly laze about?
死体なんかいつまで見てたって一生起きやしないんだよ。
They're dead. You could stare at them the rest of your lives and they'll never wake up. Again, a very different attitude from how she took in the true ending. Ugh. Senazaki-san's words brought me back to my senses. That was certainly true. There was nothing we could do for her at this point other than pray. And there was still another threat that placed our own lives in jeopardy.
とにかく眠れる時に寝ておきな。
Anyway, get some sleep while you have the chance.
今夜はもうあいつらは来ないだろうからさ。
They won't come back tonight.
多分ね。
Probably.
はい。
Okay. Senazaki-san sat down on the tatami with her back against a pillar and closed her eyes, sword still in hand. Otobe and I followed her lead and took a seat on the floor. Miyuki-chan sat down beside me and started performing maintenance on her freshly used gun.
みゆきちゃん
Miyuki-chan!
龍之介さん、
Ryunosuke-san,
今は横になってゆっくり眠った方がいいですよ。
don't you think it'd be best to lie down now and get some sleep? Right. Yuki-chan, seriously, what the hell are you? I stole a quick glance at her face. I was convinced that even if I asked, she wouldn't tell me the truth. But I still wanted to know.
先に寝てください。
Please get some sleep.
私は平気ですから。
Don't worry about me.
おやすみなさい、龍之介さん。
Good night, Ryunosuke-san.
おやすみ。
Good night. Though she spoke in a discouraging voice, she gently smiled as she said it. In the end, I couldn't ask her anything, so I simply lay down on the tatami and closed my eyes.
荒川さん、もう寝ちゃったんですか？
Hurakawa-san, are you going to sleep?
ああ、俺はもう寝てんだよ。
Yeah, I'm trying to get some sleep.
それじゃあ電気消しましょうか。
In that case, shouldn't we turn out the lights?
どうでもいいよ、そんなこと。
I don't mind either way.
消したきゃ勝手に自分で消せ。
If you want them off, you can take them off yourself. You can take care of it yourself.
いいえ、
No.
明かりはつけておいた方がいいと思いますよ。
I think it'd be best to leave the lights on. Yuki-chan remained seated as she said that to Otobe. It was less a suggestion and more an order.
万が一の時のためです。
Just in case of an emergency.
目を閉じていれば同じですから。
If you close your eyes, it's pretty much the same.
はい。
Right. I used to sleep with the lights on all the time when I was scared as a little kid.
乙部君ももう寝ましょう。
You too, Otobe-kun. Get some sleep.
私も寝ますから。
I'm going to bed too. Her voice was excessively gentle, like a mother addressing her children. Yuki-chan lay down right beside me.
おやすみなさい。
Good night. The smell of Miyuki-chan's hair wafted over to my nose. Just last night, I would have been thrilled to have Miyuki-chan sleeping next to me, but now... Her hair smelled fragrant and attractive before we came to this village, but now it smelled like gunpowder and blood. I felt slightly disappointed as I watched Miyuki-chan close her eyes. If only she was just a freelance writer. If only she were a normal girl, then we could have gone on a nice drive this weekend.
おやすみなさい。
Good night. Otobe finally laid down. The way the three of us were lying resembled the kanji for river. Completely blank. I don't think we even saw that CG in the main story. The sound of rustling clothing awakened me. The sky was clear and sunny outside the window. The birds who had just awoken began to sing. Otobe was still sleeping right in front of me. But when I turned and looked in the other direction, nobody was there. I rose to my feet in a hurry. Tadazaki-san was walking towards the doorway.
園崎さん。
Tadazaki-san?
あんたらはまだここで寝てな。
You should all stay here and sleep.
どこ行くんですか？
Where are you going? Otobe must have heard my voice and started to wake up.
ミオンさん、
Mion-san?
あれ
Huh? Kurosawa and Tawada-san were still lying dead in front of the closet like they were sleeping. It wasn't much different from last night, but...
で、みゆきちゃんは
Where's Miyuki-chan? I looked all over the assembly room, but Miyuki-chan was nowhere to be found. I had a feeling she wasn't in the bathroom.
あの子なら夜が明ける前に出てったよ。
That girl left before the sun came up.
出てったってどこへ
She left? Where did she go?
さあねえ。私にはさっぱり。
Where? I have no idea.
嘘だろ
That can't be true!
あんたなんか知ってんじゃねえのかよ
You know something, don't you?
知らないよ。
I don't know.
私は私の用事を済ますだけさ。
I've been focused on finishing my business. After saying that, Sanazaki-san tried to leave the meeting room.
ちょっと待った
Hold on!
あんたはどこ行くんだよ
Where do you think you're going?
ちょいとうちに用があるのさ。
To take care of a little business at home.
うちにって
At home?
決まってるだろ。
I've already decided.
園崎の本邸だよ。
I'm going to the main Sanazaki house.
あんたそんなところへ何しに行くんだ
You? What are you planning to do at a place like that?
昨べの黒服の連中あんたを狙ってきたんだろ
Those men in black who came here last night. They were coming for you, weren't they?
おしゃべりはそれくらいにしておきな。
Let's set that conversation aside for now.
下手な好奇心は猫をも殺すって言うだろ。
Haven't you heard the saying? Curiosity killed the cat. Sanazaki-san said only that, then quickly stepped out of the meeting room.
ちょっと待てよ
Hold on!
俺をこんなところに置いていこうって言うのかよ
You can't leave me here with just that!
それに好奇心も何ももう巻き込まれてんだからどのみち一緒だろうが
Besides, it's not about curiosity. I'm already involved in this, so shouldn't we stick together?
それを言うなら僕だって
Now that you mention it, that goes for me too.
一人でこんなところにいるのなんてごめんですよ
I'm sorry, but I can't stand being left alone in a place like this.
しょうがないね。
Here's another one! That it can't be helped.
そんなに待たないよ。さっさと支度しな。
I won't wait too long, so prepare quickly. I jumped up and grabbed my luggage, then chased after Tsunezaki-san. When Otobe saw that, he came running over in a hurry. The rain had completely stopped. The fresh morning air surrounded my entire body. Seeing the shrine gate under the sun, it looked far less majestic than last night. It was just a small, old-fashioned shrine gate. Sonozaki-san quickly descended the stone steps, then began walking down the country road.
どこへ向かってるんですか
Which way are we headed?
さあね。
I wonder. This sounds very similar. I think this is the same. I remember this conversation. It seemed like Sonozaki-san wasn't interested in answering.
近道していこうか。
Let's take a shortcut. After a while, Sonozaki-san stopped at the middle of a grove of trees, like it was some sort of landmark, then advanced through the natural trail between them. What?
こんなところマジで行くんすか
Are you seriously going through a place like this?
嫌だったらあんたたちは普通の道を行けばいいだろ。
If you got a problem, you guys can go take the normal road.
わかったよ
Understood.
待ってください
Please wait! Otobe followed closely behind Sonozaki-san as she walked down the trail. Naturally, I started to follow a little afterward.
おい、乙部、待てって。
Hey, Otobe, wait up! Honestly, I was a bit anxious about being the back of the line. I could picture the unreliable companions in front of me leaving me behind.
冗談じゃない。
Seriously? I've come this far. I won't get left behind now. I pumped my legs to shorten the distance between us. The rain or morning dew on the wet grass rubbed against the hem of my pants. A tree frog leaped from a lush green leaf. Oh.
ここは
This is... Before long, we arrived back on a country road. A vivid white cloud was floating just over the horizon, and a variety of lush vegetation was spread out before us. The road continued forward, with the old houses along both sides.
村だ。
It's a village.
何寝ぼけたこと言ってんだい。
Oh, you're talking in your sleep.
神社からここまでずっと同じ村。
Okay, this is the same. Yep, spider webs, I remember that.
山田の木だのを見てると気がつかなかったけど。
Yep, okay. I'm just
やっぱ
gonna...
あれ？
どうした？
いや、古い家ばっかりだと思っていたら、そうじゃないのもあるんですよ。
Okay.
お金も。
行こう。
Okay, so interesting. We don't go into the flashback here.
悪かったね。立ち止まったりして。行こう。
Sorry for stopping. Let's go. Sonozaki-san gazed at the mansion for a while with a nostalgic look in her eyes. But before long, she wiped the corner of her eye and started walking again. Sonozaki-san said she was a resident of this village. If that's the truth, then maybe she has some precious memories of the person who lived in that house.
ま、いいか。
Well, alright. Honestly, I was interested to learn more, but this wasn't the time. Sonozaki-san was walking at such a brisk pace. I had a hard enough time keeping up with her, let alone time to think idle thoughts. There we go, they're at the house. Okay. Oh. Eventually we arrived at a huge estate surrounded by a large fence. The size and construction were completely different from the other houses. It had a style befitting the three great families. And the front gate had several retro-style security cameras that looked like toys. Of course, they've been neglected and left exposed to the rain for over 20 years, so there's no way they could still work. The entire house had a different sort of atmosphere to it. The high fences, security cameras, and ornate double doors illustrated how strongly protected the Sonozaki family was. I focused my attention on my surroundings, and then I froze. On the other end of the door, the men in black from last night were waiting for us. In full sunlight, I could clearly make out the faces of the men. No matter how much I looked at them, they were all obviously Yakuza. What?
そんな、ここまで来て。
What? They're here too?
何言ってんだい。想定の範囲内だろうが。
What are you saying? This is all to be expected.
やるしかないんだよ。
Now we have no choice but to handle it. Okay, yeah. And we should be done with this in about 20 minutes. And then we can do the police case files. Alright, cool. Again, just checking. I'm just keeping an eye on the time for this. Alright, so yeah, we're gonna have some good timing here. And enough time to do the police case file, so it's perfect. Sonozaki-san grabbed her katana. And as if on cue, the men in black each stood up and grabbed their weapons.
ちょっと待てよ。
Hold on!
やるって 俺たち丸腰じゃねえかよ。
Handle it. We're unarmed.
っていうか俺暴力団の抗争には興味ありませんから。
Besides, I don't want him to get involved in some gangster conflict.
分かってるさ。
I understand that.
この屋敷の中に村の外まで続いてる隠し通路がある。
But there's a hidden passage in the estate that leads out of the village.
あんたたちはそこを通って逃げるんだ。
You guys will be able to escape through there. A gunshot rang out before Sonozaki-san could finish speaking. But she already started running in the direction it came from, straight ahead. It felt like Sonozaki-san was trying to break through the front gate.
マジかよ。
Huh? Are you serious?
くそ。
Damn it!
荒川さん
Haruko-san! Otobe and I followed Tsunezaki-san's lead and started running.
逃がすな。あいつは化け物だ。
Don't let them escape! Those people are monsters!
化け物。
Monsters! In the brief moment I was distracted by the voice of the man in black. A bullet flew by and hit the gate of the Sonozaki residence right behind my back. Ah! Ah! It seemed like they were trying to repel our advance. 2 more dry gunshots roared out.
奴ら俺たちまで殺す気かよ。
These guys were trying to kill us?
当然だろ。
Of course.
仲間だと思われててもおかしくないからね。
It's not so odd for them to think you're my allies.
でもどうして。
But why?
荒川
Harakawa! Sonozaki-san lifted her hand in front of my body and struck down on my head. I tumbled forward and fell to the ground. Immediately after that, a bullet pierced through Sonozaki-san's sleeve. Ah!
シノゴの言ってる暇はない。
There's no time for your grumbling.
生き延びたき早く行きな。
If you want to survive, hurry up and go! And then Sonozaki-san pushed me on my back, just thrust me forward. The force of that thrust pushed my entire body toward the gate. I rolled on the ground of it as I passed through the gate.
早く門の中へ。
Hurry and get inside!
隠し通路は井戸の向こうだよ。
Hidden passage is beyond the well!
荒川さんこっち
Harko-san, this way!
くそ。
Damn it! Otobe had entered through the side gate, and I ran in the direction he beckoned. I ran and ran like crazy. Meanwhile, Sonozaki-san was fighting the men behind us with her katana, doing her best to protect us. She struck one in the top of the head with the back of her sword, then sliced upward through the pit of his stomach. Oh my god! The men in black started collapsing one after another.
園崎さんも早く。
You too, Sonozaki-san! Hurry!
後で行く。
I'll catch up later.
庭を突っ切ると森がある。
Once you cross the garden, you'll find a forest.
そこへ向かってとにかく走るんだ。
Head there and keep running! I couldn't even spare a moment to look back at Sonozaki-san. The enemies were constantly attacking, and she was fighting them off alone.
園崎さん。
Sonozaki-san,
荒川さん
Haruko-san,
とにかく行きましょう
we need to get moving.
あ、わかった。
Got it. Otobe and I took off running at full speed. Eventually, we reached a desolate forest beyond the garden, just as Sonozaki-san said.
こんな森も園崎家の敷地とは。
This forest is part of the Sonozaki estate?
恐れ入るぜ。
I can't believe it.
こんな森の中を行くんでしょうか
Should we go into the forest?
行くんじゃねえの。
Do you not want to go? Though I was still confused, I kept running. I couldn't see the men in black. I wonder if Sonozaki-san is still fighting at the front gate of the estate. As I followed the trail through the forest, I came across a tunnel that looked like a coal mine or a shelter on the side of a steep slope. Surrounded by gentle slopes, this spot was impossible to see from the outside.
これってもしかして隠し通路。
Could it be the circular passage?
ここが
Right here? A sturdy door was installed here, likely to intimidate any who would come near. What's this? Something felt odd. When I studied the door in front of me, something felt out of place. As I quietly gazed at it, my breathing became rough and erratic. The door was slightly open.
どうしたんですか？
What's wrong?
扉が開いてる。
The door is open.
廃村だから開けっぱなしにしてあるんじゃないですか？
The village was abandoned. Wouldn't it make sense for it to be open?
おい
Hey! Otobe nonchalantly approached the door. I started to move toward the passageway too, but then stopped in my tracks. A rotten, bloody stench struck my nose.
本当にここかよ。
Are we sure this is it?
隠し通路って。
The secret passage she told us about.
"でもここを行かないんならあそこで黒服の人たちに殺されるしかないですよ。
But if we don't go in, then we'll just be killed by the men in black out there, right?
そりゃそうだけど。
That's true, but
そうだよな。
yeah, you're right. It couldn't be helped. I took a moment to prepare myself, then vigorously pulled the handle. Both the double doors came open, and a fishy odor burst out along with a swarm of small insects. It was pitch black inside, so I couldn't see very well.
本当にここなんでしょうか？
Is this really it?
ここしかないって言ったのはお前の方だぜ。
Weren't you the ones who said this is the only way?
そうですけどやっぱり
That's true, but after all,
ここってやばいんじゃないでしょうか？
after all, doesn't it look really dangerous?
とにかくもう少し行ってみようぜ。
For now, let's get a little further inside. We entered the wood-lined tunnel together. This may have been used as a shelter or a storage facility during wartime.
ミオンさん後で行くって言ってましたけど
Mion-san said she would catch up later with us, but
本当に来るんでしょうか？
do you think she's really coming?
なもん知るかよ。
How would I know that?
きっと来るって。
I'm sure she'll come.
心配すんな。
Don't worry.
はい
Okay. I was partially saying that to myself as well. I completely understood Otobe's unease, because I felt the same way. I stumbled forward through the dark passage with a hand on the wall.
ミオンさん一人で大丈夫でしょうか？
Mion-san, will she be alright on her own?
わかんねえけど、俺たちがあそこにあのままいても足手まといになるだけだろ。
I don't know, but even if we stay behind with her, wouldn't we just get in her way? Exactly.
それはそうですけど
That's true, but
やっぱり良くなかったんじゃないでしょうか？
it doesn't really feel like the right thing to do.
あそこで僕たちだけ逃げてきたりして
We ran away and left her back there. I clicked my tongue. Otobe's insecurity was quickly pushing the limits of my patience.
ごちゃごちゃ言うなら戻ればいいだろ。
If you've got any more complaints, you're welcome to go back. When I raised my voice, it became hard to breathe. The oxygen levels might be lower in this secret passageway. No, that's not it. It's not that the air is thinner. My whole body felt heavy.
Arakawa-san,
Hurko-san!
今音がしませんでしたか？
Did you hear a sound just now?
音
A sound?
こんなとこ誰もいるはずねえだろうが。
There shouldn't be anyone else left here.
でも確かに
But I'm sure I heard it. Otobe quickly fell to his knees as he said that.
オトベ
Otobe.
すみません。
Is this filled with carbon monoxide or something? Sorry.
僕なんだか苦しくて
Painful.
立ってられないんです。
To stand. I can't do it.
おいオトベ
Hey, Otobe! What is going on? I couldn't see anything in the dark. What should I do? What can I do about this? That's right. If I use my camera's flash, I should be able to see my surroundings for at least a moment. I reached into my pocket to pull out my camera, but my hand began to tremble and I couldn't get a grip on it. What is the meaning of this? My hands were trembling beyond my ability to control. Alright, son.
もうダメです。
It's too late for me.
おらら
Otobe. I wanted to say his name, but I couldn't speak clearly. Somehow I managed to push the shutter with my trembling hands. For a brief moment, the surrounding area was bathed in light. And in that moment, I saw insects clinging to the walls, and a trail of white smoke running along the floor of the passageway. Is this smoke poison gas? By the time I noticed it, it was already too late. One of the men in black must have ran ahead here and filled this area with poison gas. That's right. I wish I had been more cautious when I found that door open. I don't have any time left for regrets. The way I live may already be decided, but the way I die is not. That much is certainly true. I absolutely don't want to die quietly in a filthy, dark, smelly place where no one will find me. I don't want to die. I'm sure nobody will ever even know that I died here. My family won't know where to look for me. Even if Otobe's family gets worried and they issue a search request, they'll never find us in here. I don't want to die. Not like this. I never wanted this. But my regrets are in vain, because my thoughts will cease soon enough. Damn it. Damn it! Is that it? Or is there more? Oh, yep, that was it. That was the bad ending. You know, I really like that, actually. No abuse. I mean, no, I shouldn't say no abuse. No blaming friggin' like victims for abuse. No, like Otobe didn't make really stupid decisions, even though he died, and so did she, which kind of sucks that they died. But I gotta say, this kind of, and we got some cool fight scenes too. But I do have to say, it pissed me off. It had a lot less of the things that pissed me off about the true pathway. So the stream is not quite over yet, though, because what we are going to do right now is to check out the police case files, which are little short epilogues and stuff. Prologues and epilogues right here. We are going to be checking out the 2 Yoigoshi ones right here. But first, I'm going to go to the bathroom. So sit tight for a bit. I'll be right back ASAP. Okay, and we are back. I've been always very curious about this whole police case files thing. Let's see exactly. Oh, it's I see. It's organized as tips. Wait, which one is which? Oh, god damn it. How do I get back? Okay. God damn it, it didn't say which pertain to which. Inside the menu. Okay. Alright, technical difficulties. Let's get back. I thought it would say, so I didn't pay that much attention. But, okay. National Police. It's the one that says National Police Agency. Okay. Summer 2006. Whoa!
噂では聞いてたけど、やっぱいい眺めだな。
I've heard all the rumors, but this really is a gorgeous view. Standing at the top of the hill, I stretched out my arms wide and took a deep breath to fill my lungs with the fresh air. A serene countryside landscape was laid out right before my eyes, and the distinctive thatched roof houses were beautifully peppered throughout the landscape. It was far more spectacular than I expected, and I couldn't help but let out a sigh.
お父さんも一緒にここから始めればいいのに。
Just like you, Dad. I'm gonna start my investigation right here.
手分けした方が効率的なんて言わなくてもさ。
You don't have to tell me how to do this efficiently. As I said that, I looked off in the direction I expected my father to be. Of course, there was no reason for me to see him here, but I could just picture him furrowing his brow as he sifted through the case files, and I immediately burst out laughing. Indeed, my father went off to survey the swamp, alleged to be the source of the volcanic gas. He called it the Onigafuchi swamp. Nowadays, the land is buried in concrete. It's a huge vacant lot in the middle of the forest.
さてと、
Now then,
まずは定番通り撮影から始めますか。
first off, I should stick to standard procedure and start taking pictures. So I waved goodbye to the breathtaking scenery and went back the way I came. Luscious greenery was growing in the grassy fields along the way. The bright sunshine was brilliantly reflected in the raindrops that had fallen last night. When I stepped onto the soft grass, my feet sank in up to my ankles and water began pouring in. I could see a pitch black, filthy stone lantern in a clearing up ahead. In the old days, there were tons of plants spread throughout the lawns and gardens, with clusters of cedar trees standing against the backdrop of pines in the forest. But now the area was covered in tall weeds. It wasn't all that different from the flatlands deep in the mountains. I continued taking pictures as I made my way up to the main shrine and stopped in front of the ritual storehouse. The latch on the door was broken, and I caught a glimpse of the dark interior through the gap between the doors. According to the materials I read beforehand, a variety of unsavory tools and instruments were stored within.
撮影いいのかな。
I wonder if it's all right to be taking pictures here.
バチ当たったりしないかな。
Maybe I'll get punished for it.
やっぱいいか。
Is it really okay? After briefly getting lost in thought, I decided to leave the area for now. I planned to take a quick look inside. I realized that, Oe, but I didn't know that. I didn't know that the police case files were separated into prologues and epilogues for certain things. Either way, I'll know my lesson for next time, and I will definitely read the prologue one before I start Someatsushi proper. A planned to take a quick look inside, but of course I couldn't bring myself to step inside on my own.
それにしても建物って人がいなくなるとこんなにも朽ち果てちゃうんだね。
Yeah, I understand that now, Oe, but I didn't understand that in the beginning. It's kind of confusing that it's structured that way, because if you're just reading it on your own, you would have no idea that the police case files have a thing that's meant to be read before certain arcs. At any rate, these buildings have suffered significant decay since all the people left the area.
普段は人が住まない神社もしかりか。
That's natural for a shrine without any residents. I let out a sigh as I stared at the main hall. The paint was bare from weather exposure, and the decorative brackets were covered in rust, and the wooden parts were, needless to say, even worse. Now then,
次はどこに行こうかな。
where should I go next? I took a seat under the shrine gate, then pulled a map of the village out of my breast pocket and spread it out before me. It was a computer-generated map I was able to design based on the surveying conducted by my father and his fellow detectives. And the end result was pretty impressive. When my technologically inept father first saw it, he said, "You chose the wrong career path. You'd make a lot more money working for a design company." Still, even if he had said that sort of thing earlier on, it wouldn't have changed my mind. Indeed, it might be a bit overblown to say, but I believe I was born to be a detective. And I came to this village in order to succeed my father's will.
今はフルデ神社だから。
I guess I should head over to the Furude Shrine right about now. I looked up at the sun high in the sky to oh, there's a typo right here. To confirm the appropriate direction. And then I turned my gaze down towards the map spread out in front of me and pulled out a pen out of my breast pocket. Oh, that's it. Or are there chapters within this? Oh, that was it. Okay, so now the epilogue. Okay. Oh, I could have easily read that. I could have easily read that before starting Yoigoshi. Ah, dang. Oh, well. Well, now we know. You know, that wasn't too big of a deal. It's basically just telling you who Miyuki is. If you didn't already figure it out, if you didn't remember her name from Himatsubushi. Now, the true final epilogue of Yoigoshi. The alarm rang out just as I checked my watch. It was time to meet my father. I descended the stone steps of the Furude Shrine, straddled the folding bike parts out there, and headed out toward the former Sonozaki main building. When I arrived at the meeting place, my father was resting after finishing his investigation. Then we exchanged materials to ensure we didn't miss anything in our respective investigations. Yeah, that should be good for now. After this, we'll report our findings at Uishi-san's grave. He died? Oh, God. He died. Oh, that's a shame. Well, you know what? He was already old. He was already old. In 2000 and something, you know. It's not that big of a surprise. He was in his 60s in 1983. You know, he'd be in his late 80s if he lived, so. Before returning to Tokyo, he was a friend of my father from Hinamizawa. I'm sure he'll be pleased. Huh?
その携帯電話通じるんですか?
You're able to connect with that cell phone. Just a moment ago, I noticed the man my father referred to as Captain talking on his phone. I waited until he finished to call to ask about it. His call to ask about it. For a moment, he made a face that said, "What are you talking about?" But he quickly understood what I meant and responded yes.
確かこの村のエリアって中継基地がないんですよね。
I'm certain there's no relay anywhere near this village.
それともここだと電波が届くんですか?
Can the radio make it all the way out here?
違いますよ。
That's not it.
これ衛星携帯電話ですから。
This is a satellite phone, you know, like from Jurassic Park.
The captain pulled the phone from his breast pocket and handed it to me as he said that. It looked like an ordinary cell phone at first glance, but I didn't recognize the design, and the manufacturer was someone I'd never heard of.
通信衛星を使っていますので、海上でも通信することができます。
It communicates via satellites, so it can connect even in the open sea.
もっとも結構な値段なので、海外旅行でもしない限り個人使用には向きませんけどね。
Price is rather high though, so it's not good for normal people unless you do a lot of overseas travel.
なんだ。それなら私も契約して持ってくればよかったな。
Really? And I wish I had signed up for one and brought it with me. If I had, it would have solved a lot of our problems last night. I could have avoided getting civilians involved in a dangerous situation and saved myself from all that cold sweat.
いや、違うか。
My mistake. If only I had it back then. A life that we lost could have been saved. We could have opened a path away from a future of despair and suffering. It was nice to think of the end result of something like that.
そうだ。すみません。
Right, I'm sorry.
ちょっとそれお借りしてもいいですか?
Could I borrow that for a minute?
いいですけど、
That's
何
fine.
に使われるんですか?
That's fine. What are you gonna do with it?
実はちょっと一件上司から急ぎで連絡しろって言われてた案件を思い出しまして。
Actually, I just remembered my boss wanted to report in about a case as soon as possible.
本当はホテルに戻ってから電話するつもりだったんですけど、結局丸2日空けちゃいましたから。
I planned to call after I got back to the hotel, but I've been away for 2 days now.
ああ、そうなんですか。
Oh, is that so?
それならどうぞ。
Then please go right ahead.
Since it was for official purposes, the captain had no reason to refuse, so he agreed to let me use it. I said, "Excuse me for a moment," then walked a short distance away and called the director. Unfortunately, the director was far more upset than I expected. I bowed my head, not that the director could see it, and explained the situation, then said, "I'll send a report with the data immediately," but then the phone cut off. I'm not sure which life she's talking about either. This is bad. I couldn't help but sigh. I compiled all the data I had gathered since the day before yesterday and prepared it for tomorrow's meeting. I worked all night to finish it and just sent it over. Ever since I got my investigation in Hinamizawa with Ryunosuke-san. I mean, Mr. Arakawa. I've been carefully studying all the stories I'd heard and preparing it so as to be ready to deliver. Fortunately, I brought a PDA to document all the information, but for now it can't be helped. This is our third one. on this stream alone! It's a pain, but I guess I can head back to Okonomiya. My father told me to head back earlier, but the satellite phone the captain loaned me turned out to be a convenient alternative.
これ端末をつなげばデータ通信もできますよ。
If you connect it to a terminal, it can also do data transmission.
わざわざ沖宮に戻るよりここから送ればどうですか？
Instead of traveling to Okonomiya, why not send it from here?
いいんですか？
Oh, you don't mind? What luck. My god, look at all this rigmarole they're doing. Just like that you could easily do with a modern cell phone. Like she has a PDA, it's like satellite, like oh my god. Impressed by this man's kindness once again. I pulled my PDA and a communication cable out of my knapsack. Although I had a modem and an adapter cable designed for cell phones. But maybe they'll be compatible with this satellite phone? An external modem, oh my god.
また
Ah, there we go. I prayed as I lined up the cable with the socket on the satellite phone, then heard the click of a successful connection. Then I booted up my PDA, connected the other end of the cable, and launched the mail application. Yup, looks like it's working.
じゃあこれ
Alright then.
送信
Transmission sent.
あそうだ
Oh, right.
これも私のサバードに送っておこうかな
Let me send this to my secondary email too.
ついでに見ない室長にも
And I'll send it to Director Minai too. She said it can wait until you head back, but I want to get it to her as soon as possible, even if it's just one day. After all, this evidence corroborates what Director Minai has been saying for years. Okay, all done. As a precaution, I called the director to confirm she received the files, then closed my PDA. And then I returned the phone to the captain, with a skip in my step, thinking of what I could do to repay him for his help. I came back to the Peruta Shrine once more, just before dusk. I passed through the remains of the garden in the shrine grounds and walked through a pine forest growing like weeds. From the top of this hill, I could see the entire village stained in a dusky vermilion hue. I carefully tricked the rail to make sure it would hold, then lead out over the edge of the hill. A strong wind blew up from the base of the cliff, running a refreshing chill along my sweaty body. Wow, this epilogue even has an exclusive CG. This is a place of destiny. My father left a lot of thoughts here. In the end, my father didn't come here. At first I was wondering if he was prioritizing the efficiency of the investigation. But when I asked him to come here again, that's when I finally realized. He can't come here. This was the hill where a little girl asked my father for help, and his inability to fulfill that promise is a wound that can never heal.
フルでリカ
Rika Furude. I softly whispered the girl's name. One day, long ago, my father told me he met a girl in Hinamizawa who was like an angel, and her childlike heart truly touched him. Then I said I wanted to be friends with the girl. At that time, I had no idea how much sorrow those innocent words would inflict on my father. I once again turned to gaze at the village. Looking more closely, there was a section of that field that was greener on one side, indistinguishable from the muddy, algae-filled reservoir beside it. The straw-roofed residential houses still retained their original shape, even though there was no longer anyone living here. The village of the dead, where their spirits still dwell. A living hell of a tragedy happened here over 20 years ago. The truth of that is still unknown. Rumors and speculation are still flying around, doubting the presence of volcanic gas, but nothing has quite hit the mark.
それに
Even so,
調べて探し回って真相を突き止めても
keep looking, keep searching, until we find the truth. The lives lost and the time past will never come back. The hopes and dreams of over 2,000 villagers. Those calm, peaceful days that truly existed over 20 years ago. Those are already just visions of the past. Archaeologists are no longer interested in conducting an academic investigation, so there's nothing left to heal the pain and regret of the people who were hurt. But even so, my father has dedicated the rest of his life to shining a light on this incident. Even though he's leaving his job in public security to take the role of the principal of the police academy, my father is still pressing onward down the thorny path to atone for the past.
ねえリカさん
Hey, Rika-san.
いつになったらお父さんは救われるのかな
When will my father redeem himself?
どうやったら悲しい思いを消して心の底から笑えるようになるのかな
What does he have to do before he can leave these sad feelings behind and smile from the bottom of his heart? I gently whispered those words to the wind, speaking to the person who might be in the sky now. But of course there was no reply. That too was only for my own self-satisfaction.
この惨劇がどうして起こされたのか私たちだけでは真相に至ることが叶いません
How did this tragedy come to pass? It's impossible to find the truth out
どう
of
か
our own.
これを読んだあなた真相を解き明かしてくださいそれだけが私たちの願いです
Whoever are reading this, please find the truth. That is the only wish. Our only wish. But even today, I'll gladly keep sending these messages, even if they never reach anyone. And I believe that is it. The next time we are going to start with Somei Sushi. Well, I'm feeling quite satisfied actually after that epilogue and that ending. I don't know. I think in some ways I like that better than the true path. I have to say. I think it's because like Arakawa was like a lot of Arakawa's more unsavory aspects were really toned down, and I don't know. And Otobe didn't do that really weird thing with the card. Like, I don't know. I kind of like that, except for the fact that they died. I kind of wish that they had just been able to escape in that tunnel rather than freaking die to the poison gas. But, you know, then it wouldn't be a bad ending. So anyway, next time We are officially free from Yoigoshi, you guys. I've already said my piece on this arc. I think there were a lot of good ideas, but you know, I just disagree with a lot of choices that the writer made. And if you like it, then more power to you. I'm so glad that you're able to enjoy it, you know? So far, like, you know, I would never hold it against anyone for liking something that I didn't enjoy quite as much. Like, you know, and, you know, looking forward to the next one, because the next one we are doing is Somei Sushi. And, yeah, it looks like Somei Sushi, Kageboshi, and Tokyogushi all follow an arc with each other. They're basically a big arc, I think, and I think the other Miyotsukushi actually leads into it. Is the finale of their arcs. So we're going to be introduced to an entirely new cast of characters. Only this time it's going to be taking place in 1983, along with everything else, I'm pretty sure. Well, we have no idea if Mion failed in that timeline, Jess. We have no idea what happened to Mion in that timeline. I like to think she survived. So yes, so may it sushi. But of course, I learned my lesson. We first do that prologue police case file. Jeez. Before starting Somei Sushi proper. Just checking again, like the... Yeah, Somei Sushi. And then the next one is for Kageboshi. Yeah, I'm really looking forward. Like, Natsumi is that pigtailed girl. She's apparently, like, sort of like the face of the whole console arcs thing. Like, because, like, her whole scenario is really involved. So, yep, next time this is before and after Somei Sushi. And this one will be before and after Kageboshi. So next time, I'm really looking forward to starting Somei Sushi with you guys in 2 days. And of course tomorrow, as always, we will be doing more of House and Fata Morgana. So until then, I will say so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, good night. You are all the sweetest of hearts. See ya.